The Suicide Squad Superman in the ICU controversy. For some reason, it
Hmm.
is. But firstly, what are your thoughts on the whole thing? Firstly, and then we'll get on to what James Gunn said.
Like the whole ICU
Yes.
thing, you mean? So I'm fine with that because like it's a comics thing. I'm pretty sure it was his first appearance of Bloodsport where he shot Superman with a kryptonite bullet. So like it's referencing the comics. So I'm personally totally fine with that. It does build the world a little bit, makes like to where there's more threats to Superman than just simply like a Doomsday or a Lex Luthor,
Yeah.
right? It makes a more dangerous world, and it actually adds a little bit more I guess, intrigue for the Bloodsport character. It makes him seem like more of a
Yeah.
boss, and you get to expect a little bit more from him because if he can shoot Superman, then he's obviously someone to be
Then
reckoned
he could
with.
shoot a
So I'm
starfish.
totally, yeah, he can shoot a big starfish. Yeah, I mean that's fair. But I'm okay with that whole ICU thing. I know a lot of people are upset that they're just like, oh, like they're disrespecting Zack Superman. It's like I don't see it that way personally. Like I love Zack's movies. I'm a huge fan of Zack's DCAU, but I feel like we need to stop looking at everything that's different from Zack's stuff as an attack on Zack.
Yeah.
Even though yes, Warner Bros is against Zack, we get that, but other directors and creators, we all know that they really love and respect
Yeah.
Zack. So I don't feel like they like, for example, Andy Muschietti or James Gunn, who actually wrote the screenplay for Zack's Dawn of the Dead.
Mhm.
I don't think they'd go out of their way to disrespect what Zack has done in the past, right? At least in their own films and their own scripts.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, look, I have no problem with it, really, to be honest with you. Would it be even better if Henry Cavill was to show up and we got to see it? But as James Gunn said, he doesn't know which Superman is going to be. Because the first Suicide Squad, Ben Affleck showed up as Batman, Flash showed up. That was pretty cool. That's a pretty cool moment to sit there and watch.
Yeah, it's world building.
Yeah, it was. But this time around, it's not going to be like that. It's just going to be a name. It's going to be a reference, which I'm disappointed at. But I think it's cool for the character of Bloodsport. It elevates him as a character and say, oh, well, he did that to Superman. Pretty cool. I still think we'll get maybe a cape shot or boots shot Superman. Maybe I hope they do. It's better when you can visualize the scene instead of just them saying, oh, he shot Superman. I want to see something just to show me.
How did he pull that off?
Yeah, show us the plan, show us something like that. But I don't have the controversy because James Gunn's his own director. He's doing his own thing, and let him do it. And the Snyderverse will be its own thing if it ever gets restored. It won't connect to the DCEU universe. It might not, but it doesn't have to. But James Gunn or the other directors don't necessarily have to take everything that he did and put it into these movies. They can take what they want as canon and use it. But I don't think it's a big deal. I think it's a cool little Easter egg, cool reference, and hopefully there's a few other references like that in the movie. Maybe even a hero will show up. Probably not, but we'll see. But I have no problem with it.
With that, though, I think, kind of mentioning the whole I don't cast the next Superman thing, I feel like that statement I can understand a little bit more gripes with because, DC's doing this whole like multiverse thing, right? Which is basically them just saying, oh, we're excluding things we don't want. That's what that is at this point. But if you're doing a real multiverse, these directors can make these movies in their own worlds to where they can basically say what is their version of Superman in that world or what is their version of different characters in that world, right? I feel like that's something that a director should be able to do in a true multiverse type of world. Whereas, like in this situation, it doesn't feel that way. And he's like, "Oh, I don't cast the next Superman." I was like, "Well, this is your world you're creating here. Why you can just simply choose? Like, you can say it was Christopher Reeve, Brandon Routh, or Henry Cavill. You can say one of those, and then it look like you're actually building your own world. But to say that I don't cast Superman, it means you're codependent on the next Superman film or whatever next Superman they cast. If they end up casting a different Superman, because who knows if they even make this new Superman movie that they've announced? I highly doubt it's going to happen. But I feel like he should have been able to say like, "Oh, this version of Superman is the Superman that was shot." Personally,
yeah, that's a really good point. Just like what Superman is it? Put it into the movie. Like I don't think fans are going to lose general audiences wouldn't lose their mind really if they just said it's Henry Cavill or it's somebody else. Just
yeah, because it's a multiverse, or it's supposed to be anyway.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. Yeah, and they talked about that last year at DC Fandom. If it's Tom Welling, all right, that's pretty cool. Brandon Routh, okay, that's pretty cool. But just don't lie to the audiences. Don't lie to the fans. Just do something. Just do something.
Yeah.
But
Agreed.
Yeah, I agree, and I also don't think that it's a bad thing. For me, um, and I think that this is actually true. The DCEU and the Snyderverse are different. Zach has said it before. Warner Brothers has made it very clear from their actions, and um, it just seems, fair that every director gets their own um, share of freedom to make whatever
Hmm.
they want. If James Gunn wants, Brandon Routh to be his ICU Superman, then he can choose him if he wants. If he wants
Yeah.
Henry Cavill, then he can choose him. I think people get upset with this, thinking that it's a shared universe. I don't think it is a shared universe anymore. Like, if suppose they actually film a scene with Henry Cavill Superman, actually lying down in an ICU, all on all on camera and all that. I don't think that has any effect on Zach's movies. He will never
No.
acknowledge that, and neither on screen or off screen, he will never acknowledge that. Like you said, this is a multiverse, so those are technically different Earths now. So it doesn't have to get you upset, but I get why people are upset about that. Because Warner Brothers has
Hmm.
handled Superman quite badly, and they never are clear onto. They're still not clear about Henry Cavill's future as Superman. So I can understand the frustration from people.
Hmm. Oh
And
yeah.
James Gunn saying next Superman specifically, although there's context behind that, I do get why people might get upset about the words next Superman when Henry Cavill is still
Yeah.
Superman.
When Henry Cavill's like, honestly, my opinion as of right now with current actors is the perfect casting for
Yeah.
Superman. Like, if you're gonna have a Clark Kent in a movie, he's the guy that fits that so well, and he's done it in movies. It's just frustrating. And again, I really doubt that this next Superman movie will get made with what's his name, Coates,
Hmm.
one of the writers for Black Panther. I seriously, I
Yeah.
feel like that's going to go into development hell. I feel like there's going to be a bunch of like different scripts, different versions of the script, and then by the time they might actually pull something out together to some extent, Discovery is going to be in
Yes.
there, and executives are very much on the chopping block with that because they're going to want to bring their own people in and set up shop, and make things organized in a way that actually makes sense.
What a strange
So I mean,
concept.
oh, what a strange concept. So I feel like with fans being upset about the DCU right now, I feel like again we just have to
Yeah.
wait. We just have to be patient, and I know we said the same thing about AT
Yeah.
and T, which hasn't turned out as well as we hoped. But I feel like we have a little bit more reason to hope with David Zaslav, Discovery, Warner Brothers Discovery, that whole thing going
Yeah.
on. I feel like there's more reason to be optimistic. So just kind of have to wait through the muck a little bit. I know we as DC fans have been through the
Yes.
muck. We really have.
Dragged and
We have been
dragged
dragged,
every day.
hands chopped off, dragged through the dirt. Like it's been bad. Compared,
Yeah.
and then we look across the aisle to Marvel, and that Marvel fans have been treated very, very well. And so that kind of goes more into why
And
fans are
then
upset because they see that
Ant-Man
these Marvel
character
fans are
gets
very.
a third movie.
Yeah, exactly. They get a movie called Quantum Mania, for goodness sakes. So like, yeah, Marvel fans are eating pretty well
Yeah.
right now, and I think we just need to wait a little bit more for us to know if we're going to be given the same treatment or similar treatment with Discovery.
Yeah. I agree.
You know what's an interesting thing, because like a year, 2 years makes a huge difference. Like a year and a half ago, the Snyder Cut wasn't a thing; it wasn't coming out.
Yeah.
You know, and we watched it. And a year from now, I think Black Adam will have come out, or it's soon to come out. So who knows if Henry Cavill's going to appear in that? And him popping up in that, and that film's a huge success. He's talked about it, it's a huge buzz. Warner Brothers' hands are tied. They have to bring him back for more because the audiences are going crazy. And then
Yeah.
that's where you're probably right. The Black Superman film with J.J. Abrams and Tanashi Coates, that gets squashed because they can't move forward with that because The Rock has this big plan for Henry Cavill. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Black Adam, The Rock versus Superman. Like that's box office money right there. That's like a WrestleMania main event.
Oh yeah.
Like that's what I think The Rock is aiming towards. I think that's why his agent has been very patient with him returning as Superman. They haven't caved for any deals. They haven't, made him pop up in Birds of Prey or even the Suicide
Yeah.
Squad. They're waiting and waiting until The Rock can say to Warner Brothers, "Hey, I want Superman in my movie. I want Henry Cavill.
Black Adam's going to look at Superman and say, "What is your name? It doesn't matter what your name is. I'm going to put you in the dirt." And like I agree. I think like a year and a half ago, like you said, the Snyder Cut wasn't a thing. Now, just yesterday, I pre-ordered the box set of Zack Snyder's Justice League, like the trilogy they're calling it, which it isn't a trilogy. But you know what? It's got Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, Zack Snyder's Justice League posters. I'm getting it. I have it pre-ordered, and it's a thing that exists. And so again, we just have to wait just a little bit more. And it's always the waiting game for DC fans. It always is, which is frustrating. Hopefully, one day that waiting will be over. I hope by the time the waiting is over that the superhero trend isn't dead. That's my one main fear. But again, we'll just have to be patient and see.
Yeah, I agree. I also don't understand why, I understand that Warner Brothers wants to have a Superman that everybody loves, right? And unfortunately, Henry Cavill wasn't someone that every single person loved. So, yes, exactly. So I don't understand why they cannot just, tone him differently, because even Henry Cavill has different ideas for his character. So I don't know why they cannot just use him in different. You can use the same actor, but tone down or tone up his cheery side or whatever. However you want to make him, you can experiment with that in different movies, right? So I don't know why they're still not doing that. They can have him in a James Gunn movie be kind of campy and cheery and making jokes. You can have that, but it doesn't affect the Snyderverse. He'll still be our traditional Superman in that universe. So I don't see how that affects it. Maybe it really does come down to Henry Cavill, asking a lot and Warner Brothers not wanting to pay that, which is absolutely ridiculous, because they should have upped his contract back in 2017 when they went
like it's Superman.
Exactly.
Like it's the first freaking superhero. Like you're cast as the superhero, you should get a ton of money. And I think more so than the money, it's association with Zach. I think that's the main thing, honestly.
And also,
the origin of the DCU.
I do understand that. However, you can tweak his character in different movies. So, especially if you are making another Man of Steel 2, for example, with J.J. Abrams or someone, he'll definitely make Henry Cavill Superman his own Superman. He won't continue from Man of Steel, especially because Warner Brothers will be on his back saying, you know what, you can do everything you want except Man of Steel. That we do not want. Do everything else. So they'll definitely change him up, and people will love that. Just like Superman and Lois is the best example, I think, because Tyler Hoechlin, I didn't like his Superman one bit when he was in the Supergirl show and the crossovers, because he just was the punching bag and everybody just kept, he was just a shit character. And then now he looks pretty good, and he's carrying his own Superman character and everybody seems to love him. So it's the same actor though. So I don't know why that they cannot do that with Henry Cavill. It's weird.
It's a great point. It's a very great point.
I was watching Hobbs and Shaw a little bit today, and The Rock is in it, of course, and he was a big producer of that movie. But he knows how to make fans happy and to create buzz. Like Ryan Reynolds popped up in that movie, and Kevin Hart. He knows just how to get people excited. So I wouldn't be surprised if Henry Cavill shows up in Black Adam. Because that would get people excited, and he loves making fun, popcorn-driven kind of movies. And I wouldn't mind Henry Cavill returning in that capacity, because I know it would be done in love by The Rock and his production company, because they would treat the character with respect. So I'm looking forward to that. But just a few guys in the chat here from Instagram. I see them. Tony Chappie is here, or Tony Movie Chappie is here, and Try Burrow. He goes, keep Henry Cavill as Superman. He's the best one since Reeves. Yep. He also says, I hate when DC does this. They cast someone as the iconic Superman, Batman, then get so anxious to get rid of them for somebody else. Just stick with who you picked for the role. Yeah, that's pretty good. And Anthony goes, I really hope we get Henry Cavill as Superman and Sasha Calle Supergirl face to face against Brainiac. That would be awesome. Hopefully, with fingers crossed. You never know what's going to happen. But, I think we're all okay with Superman being in the ICU by Bloodsport because of the multiverse. And could be a different universe, and we'll have to see how the Superman story develops. But